Margaret Beaufort was born on May 31, 1443, at Bletsoe Castle. She later became the powerful matriarch of the Tudor dynasty. In 1444, Margaret Beaufort's father, John Beaufort, died, making her one of the wealthiest heiresses in England. At just 7 years old in 1450, was married to John de la Pole. However, this marriage was later annulled. In 1455, at the age of 12, Margaret Beaufort married Edmund Tudor. This marriage was politically important, as Edmund Tudor was the half-brother of King Henry VI. Through this union, Margaret became closely connected to the royal family. In 1556, Edmund Tudor died while Margaret Beaufort was still pregnant with their child. His death left Margaret, a young widow, at just 13 years old, facing a very uncertain future. On January 28, 1457, Margaret Beaufort gave birth to her son, Henry VII. The birth was extremely difficult due to her young age, but both mother and child survived. This child would later become King Henry VII. Between 1455 and 1487, Margaret Beaufort lived through the turbulent period known as the Wars of the Roses. Throughout these years of conflict, she remained a devoted supporter of the Lancastrian cause, working carefully behind the scenes to protect her son's claim and navigate the dangers of shifting political power. In 1464, Margaret Beaufort married Henry Stafford. This marriage provided her with greater security and protection during the unstable years of the Wars of the Roses. Henry Stafford supported her interests, helping her maintain her position and continue safeguarding her son's future. In 1471, the Lancastrians suffered a major defeat during the Wars of the Roses. As a result, Margaret Beaufort's son, Henry Tudor, was forced to flee into exile for his safety. He spent many years away from England, while Margaret remained behind, carefully navigating the dangerous political landscape to protect his claim to the throne. In 1472, Margaret Beaufort married Thomas Stanley. This marriage proved to be highly strategic, as Thomas Stanley was a powerful noble with strong influence in England. Through this alliance, Margaret gained greater protection and political leverage, which would later play a crucial role in her son's path to the throne. In 1483, Margaret Beaufort began secretly plotting against King Richard III. Working behind the scenes, she helped organize support for her son, Henry Tudor, and formed key alliances. Her actions during this time were crucial in setting the stage for the eventual overthrow of Richard and the rise of the Tudor dynasty. On August 22, 1485, Margaret Beaufort's son, Henry Tudor, won the Battle of Bosworth Field. This decisive victory ended the Wars of the Roses, and Henry was crowned King Henry VII. It marked the beginning of the Tudor dynasty, fulfilling Margaret's long efforts to secure her son's place on the throne. From 1485 to 1509, Margaret Beaufort became one of the most powerful women in England. Known as My Lady the King's Mother, she held significant influence at court, working closely with her son, King Henry VII. During these years, she played an important role in politics, religion, and education, helping to shape the early Tudor reign. Margaret Beaufort played a key role in arranging the marriage between her son Henry VII and Elizabeth of York. This union brought together the rival houses of Lancaster and York, helping to end years of conflict. It was a crucial step in securing peace and strengthening the new Tudor dynasty. On June 29, 1509, Margaret Beaufort died, just a few months after the death of her son, King Henry VII. Having witnessed his rise to the throne and the establishment of the Tudor dynasty, she passed away at the height of her influence, leaving behind a lasting legacy in English history.